Hi, this is Sheila Stevens with the Valkyrie Initiative. It's been a while since I've done a video, but tonight I'm relaxed. I got my cup of coffee, and I am going to tell you a little story that I think is quite insightful. It's about memory, and and words that go along with that memory and what effect it has on our interpretation of what someone has said in the future, in the present, and in the future. There was a research study done where um, two researchers took videos of vehicles hitting each other, front end collisions, and they put them in front of college students and they said, how fast, are these vehicles going? And they put them in different groups of people, and they called the accidents, collisions, whatever you want to call them, they called them different names. Like the first one was um, bumped. These vehicles bumped each other. The next one was hit. Then the third group, they called the videos off the vehicles colliding with each other. And the last one, they said that the vehicles smashed into each other. So when they went back and asked, it was a memory test, asked later, what did you see how fast do you think these vehicles were going was one of the questions. It was the main question. It was couched in other questions. And so the people who were told that the automobiles hit or bumped each other, very low speed estimation for the wreck. And then the second one, collision, was up around 40 something. And the highest estimate of speed was the one in the group in which the researchers called the accident, the collision, smashing into each other. So that tells us some information right there, doesn't it? That the people saw the very same video, very same cars smashing into each other, bumping, hitting, colliding, whatever they were called, and they all gave them different rates of speech, but dependent on the word used to describe them. From bumped to hit to collided to smashed into each other. Now, what does it tell us? Well, we're talking to each other and we're accusing people, or maybe having an argument with our significant other and saying, you said this, you did this. What the word that we describe it as could be very, very important in the way they perceive it and the way they remember it, the seriousness of it, the long-term time that it stays in your memory as well. Because they went back 1 week later, and this is the most interesting part of the study for me. They asked, how much broken glass did you see? First they said, did you see broken glass at the scene? Yes or no question. And then, how much broken glass did you see, if you saw any? Well, interestingly enough, and I think you can all see this coming, the video that showed two cars smashing into each other, that was the description, they saw the most broken glass. They remembered the most broken glass from the scene. And it went down there of course, from the way that the accident was described. However, all of them remembered broken glass. How much broken glass was there actually at the scene, you may ask? The answer is there was none. None. So that's very strange that people actually, all of these people were like groups of 50. They actually remembered something that wasn't there because of the words used to describe what they saw. So the words, their hearing, the power of the words overcame their sight, what they saw with their own eyes. So I contend that if we are talking to each other, people we love or people we don't love, the words we use are extremely important. They can hurt each other. They can hurt us by putting false memories in our minds about the situation. And sometimes, we can go back later and we will recall something differently, or we'll think I was kind of hot-headed, or I shouldn't have said that, or I was upset at the time. But somehow that memory can still be altered because of the words that were slung around through the altercation. So I contend that we not do this with each other, even people that we don't care about, people we meet on the street, people that we have interactions with fleetingly or on a regular basis, that we use some civility in our intercourse with them because, or discourse with them, because we are powerful beings, that the words we use and the way people interpret them will last. It's like your brain interprets it by the meaning of the word used rather than what the brain actually sees and hears, which is very ironic. That has been replicated several times. It was one or two studies that showed it differently, but it was because people weren't watching a video. They were watching a true scene in front of them. But it wasn't a crime scene or an accident. You can't stage something like that and then have people respond to it. So the thing about this, to me, is that we be kind to each other. I mean, you may think your life is the worst, you have the most problems, you've had a lot of trauma, and maybe that's very true. But you don't always know what's going on with another person. What is happening in their life? What are they struggling with? What have they um, been exposed to that day that may make them very emotional at the time that you throw words at them, or that you have a bad attitude, that you just dismiss them and maybe say that they're bothering you, or that they don't need, they need to go away, that you want to be alone. There are very much nicer ways to say that to somebody, healing ways even, than to say, I don't want to be around you. You are bothering me. That is for vulnerable populations. That's pretty strong words. Sometimes it triggers things that they have heard before in their past. So this is just a little reminder for all of us to please try to reach down inside ourselves and think beyond ourselves sometimes, even when we're upset. Do not spew your hatred or your bad mood or your ill feelings or your pain onto other people. It does not relieve you of it. You still have it, and now you've multiplied it. You're growing it outside of yourself. Let's don't do that. Thank you, my friends, for listening.